I feel like somebody, I don't even know his name, Mr. Dreams of a King.
Yeah.
He said doing stuff from the heart, you shouldn't expect anything in return, and I totally agree. So sometimes, to a certain extent, I feel like,
Repeat that again.
He said, doing stuff from the heart, you shouldn't expect anything in return. And that's true. That's when you're genuine. That's when you know your intentions are pure. So, yeah, I do feel like sometimes it's not a dang, I shouldn't do this anymore. Maybe it's like I read a quote. It was like, I'm not going to change being a good person to people. I'm going to just change the people I'm good to. So I feel like that's something that a lot of people should use as their motto, because it is a lot of people. That's exactly why we in this big old cycle today. Hurt people, because once you hurt, they don't properly deal with it. Instead of dealing with it and trying to figure out them feelings and what went left or what they might have done. Because I'm not going to lie, a lot of people are used to pointing the finger. Oh, that person didn't appreciate me. Well, how come they didn't? Why do you think you put so much into that person? Like, it could have been because you poured so much. So you need to take that as a lesson. Next time, I need to learn how to limit how much I pour out, or how much I allow a person to come into me, or how much I show them. It's just little stuff that you have to take and run with, and just know it's not always the other person. I'm not going to lie to you. Being 100, even as a female, we love to be like, man, niggas ain't shit. He ain't appreciate me.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he felt like it was certain stuff you wasn't giving him to appreciate. You know what I mean? But even if it is a situation like that, I feel like it's just important at the end of the day to always recognize yourself and what you could be doing wrong, or anything that you could do better, even if you feel like you didn't do nothing wrong. Just be like, okay, well, next time, what could I do differently to keep this from happening, or, etc.
Pay attention to the signs.
Yeah, pay attention to the signs.
It's simple, but see, that's why I say, like, we can all sit here and, like, you are absolutely right. We can sit here and point fingers all day. We can say, oh, it's your fault, it's her fault, it's their fault, it's all of our faults. We can do this all day. You know what I'm saying?
But you have to take accountability, and that takes a mature individual.
You was born with the sense to know, you know what I'm saying, what's hot, what's wrong, what's right, you know what I'm saying? Right. You know what's up. So if that person, again, showing you signs, keep showing you signs you can't be trusted, or they don't feel the same way that you do, or anything, like, you gotta be strong enough and willing enough to make the move and the changes that's necessary.
And that's like what I had wrote down, lack of authentic self. A lot of people don't fully know themselves. They know what other people have put onto them. They know how Saweetie might make them feel like they should be or whatever, but they don't really look deep down into who they are.
They just know how to get by.
Right.
They just know how to brush whatever is internally eating them up. They know how to just patiently deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just deal with it for this moment, but then I'm gonna brush this up on the rug, and hopefully I find somebody
but you do have a lot of
people
that who brush things under the rug, thinking that it's something that is not, or they don't know how to fully acknowledge that. Like, a lot of people lack accountability.
But what about the ones that really know, that really have that accountability trait, but they play dumb to the situation? How do you know what I'm saying? How do you deal with it? How do you just come about?
That sounds like a personal, like, okay, so you're saying I understand what's going on, but I'm playing dumb.
You playing?
That sounds like somebody who using you because they know what the hell they doing. Like, for real. Like, I know what I'm doing, but you need to do something better. Like, I'm confused. Yeah. I guess.
I mean, it's just it's really like you'll be surprised, bro. You'll be surprised how many people put on that mask. You know what I'm saying? That'll show theyself, and then they'll be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Let me. I'm showing too much. Let me go hide. You know what I'm saying? Until it's time for me to show it again, and then to show it again.
Oh, well, that type of person, I feel like they have to just learn who to show that love to, or whatever they're trying to show, whether it's feelings, emotion, whatever. You just got to know what type of person deserves that from you.
Yeah.
Because you can't show that to everybody, although you may be genuine or pure-hearted, not everybody deserves to reap them benefits or reap that side of you, or, they shouldn't be able to reap those benefits. Not everybody should get into Six Flags, you know what I mean? Like, you got to set boundaries. You can't ride this ride because you're too short. You can't do this because, you know what I mean? Like, you just got to set certain boundaries so that you can know how to deal with those things, especially if you start to pinpoint certain things that made you feel that way in that moment. Then I feel like that'll make it clearer for you.
And don't be afraid No, you just
Most
can't
definitely.
be afraid because
everybody's entitled to their opinions. You feel how you feel, whether you feel like somebody playing you or not. Look,
you're gonna have those times where you just feel like, damn, it's what I'm doing the right move. Yes.
Right.
Yes, if you
if you feel confused, write it down. Give yourself enough a list. Pros and cons. That's something that we should start doing instead of just what you're willing to sacrifice versus what you're not willing to sacrifice. Because our relationships are really based on a sacrifice. I feel like, especially once you get married, there's a lot of people. Like, for example, this is a good one. I'm not sure about y'all, but I know a lot of women who have given up their dreams and what they really wanted to do in life just to settle or be with a man that is their husband. And not saying that they're not happy with their husband, but there are a lot of at-home moms or moms that are working somewhere that they truly didn't want to be career-wise. Yeah. Because I've noticed a lot of women, whether it's in a movie, TV show, or real life, they be like, yeah, I used to be a singer. I used to want to do this, but I got pregnant and had you and your daddy this, and that. Like, how come the woman... Not saying the woman's always want to sacrifice, but in certain situations like that, why do you feel like it's made to where they have to give up their dreams and what they want to do just because they're having a baby with this man? Because I feel like it's not fair if a man still gets to do fully what he wants to do, and career-wise or whatever, but just because you had his child, now all of a sudden you have to detour and be a stay-at-home mom, or you can't fulfill your full purpose?
Me, honestly, I think that was just more of a old time mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's when women was. I feel they were still trying to find their way into these public jobs like they have now. Really rarely now that you see that. You see more men taking the sacrifice now than you do the women, because you have women that's in these higher positions. Like, let's be honest, I can call up about 3 people and they can all probably name you 3 women that's doing something big or just enjoying life. So I just feel like you right. It's not fair. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's evenly though. Still, you know what I mean? Because it's still like you can sacrifice so much, but you can only give it up if you willing to give it up. You know what I'm saying? And some of the women just willingly was like, my kids are more important than my dreams at this point.
So you and someone in my comments also did say that is something that's more so back in the day. It's not morally a relevant thing of today.
No, you don't.
So what do you feel like is the difference today with women from being more like? Do you feel like they're not as, how should I say this? Not loyal, but you know how they be like, you need to ride for me and do what I want you to do type of thing. Like,
it's not even.
Do you think it's a difference? Like, what is the difference?
I think what the difference between that is back then and now is women found out how to turn the hustle up. You know what I'm saying? Back then they was able to, they was doing hairs in the kitchen, they was doing nails in the den.
And like, they did have that mentality more so to cater to their man. And nowadays I do feel like it's more so the opposite. Like, we're more so kind of like, if these new, I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna, we breadwinners. Like, I don't have to sit around and do this or be stay at home mom. I can still fulfill my full dream and be a part-time rapper, part-time whatever. So yeah.
I mean, P.S. fellas, you hear this, right, man? We gotta come on, man. We gotta come on.
Yeah, you gotta bring something to the table, baby. I am the table.
We gotta take it back. See, and then let's move on to the next topic.
I'm dead. You want to introduce the next topic for us?
What's the next topic? Oh, let me see. Let me go to the vault. So on this topic here, I was actually just on Twitter, I want to say, and it just ran across.
Question. I'm sorry. I feel like this will kind of tie into it because someone just made a comment on my live. He said everybody has been raised to be independent these days. Do you feel like that can be? I feel like it's a good thing that people can be independent, but I see certain things where, like on Twitter, I seen a dude make a tweet saying he feel like females nowadays are a little too hard body for him. He want a female that's more so willing to cater to him or more soft and want to do this and that. And I feel like it really just depends on the female, also the situation y'all in, because you do have some people who are on a hard stuff. They feel like they don't need somebody in order to be who they are today. And I feel like that can be a good thing but a bad thing, because I feel like it's kind of making people not selfish, but it's like, I'm going to do what I want to do either way it go. Like, you know what I mean? How do you know if you meet somebody if they're going to be willing to sacrifice for you? Because like we just said, relationships take sacrifice.
You know how you know? Just by if that person be theyself. If that person be theyself and they be honest up front, they communicate, you know what I'm saying, and they let you know exactly what this is, what it's going to be, and what you're willing to accept and what you're willing not to accept. If you can be yourself and be honest up front, you don't even have to worry about those problems. You see what I'm saying?
But we be saying that, but
but it gotta be on both sides, though, bro. It gotta be on both sides. Like, you gotta have an understanding. I have to have that understanding. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's even though we already know feelings gonna find its way in the situation regardless. You know what I'm saying? But you still gotta just have that understanding with both. Okay, well, if I know that I'm investing this and I see that you investing a little bit more, then that's gonna make me feel comfortable to invest more. You see what I'm saying? But
like you said, you got some people who don't mind munching out for you. They'll let you pour and pour and pour and just let you do it, and whole time your cup empty, but theirs full.
But that's when I say
you have to know your boundaries.
You gotta know your boundaries, and it goes both ways. You gotta see the signs, because the signs are there. Signs gonna always pop up. It's just the person. Are you willing to see it, or are you willing to play dead eye to it? You see what I'm saying?
I agree. Because someone said, same person, Dreams of a King. He said, no man wants a woman who doesn't need him or doesn't make him feel like he's important.
He said he doesn't need a woman that...
No, he's saying no man wants a woman who doesn't make them feel needed or important.
That's true. I'm not gonna lie, but it's some women out here that I truly feel that's too independent. You know what I'm saying?
What is too independent?
Too independent. It's like you can be independent, but you can be too independent to a point where you feel like
I don't
need you at all. You see what I'm saying? And if you have someone that's that's around, that's at least trying to make meet you halfway or whatever, and you make
acknowledge that,
you know what I'm saying, but you make them feel lesser than who they are, then like bro say, then I don't even want you around. But at the same time, again, I point the finger at the man. You see what I'm saying? Because within itself, you got to be strong enough and mentally enough, you know what I'm saying, to see, well, if she feeling like this, maybe I need to step my game up. Right. Maybe I need to do this in this area, you know what I'm saying?
And I feel like, I feel like some people flee away from that because they're scared. Because I do firmly believe there's some people, like, I'll meet dudes that may be a little older than me, and they'll be like, oh, well, females my age be acting like they this, and that. Well, to them, is it because you don't have your stuff together, or is it just because you're just not where you want to be at that moment? Which, I mean, we all done been there, done that. Like, and then you can't get too comfortable because you can think you up, and then you can have it all taken from you at any age, any point in time.
Oh, yeah.
So, how do you know, in that instance?
How do you just... if
somebody is worth waiting or building with, or because me personally, that's why a major reason why I haven't been in a relationship, because there's not many people that you can build a foundation with or grow with, because like you said, a lot of people already feel like they there, or some people feel like I know what I'm doing, so I just want to do this and that. But
and you say, how do you know if that person is worth waiting for?
Right. Or worth growing with, or how do you know if they're really trying to grow? If it's somebody who stuck in the same place for years, or somebody who really trying to make something happen. Because like the movie, what I'm going to say? Acrimony. He felt like he was them years. No, but that's a perfect example, though, because all those years she was with him, I'm not going to go into the detail about it, but I'm just saying, he finally got on his feet. Yeah. But in that time span for her, it might not have been something that she was willing to wait on. But for somebody else, if she feel like, well, he's still going to work every day, it might not pop off today, but it can be 10 years from now. Like, you know what I mean? It takes somebody who's really down, or somebody who knows the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Because success don't happen overnight.
That's true. But I also feel like this. Even if in this movie too, bro, even if she waited, she did as much as she could, she helped him, she got, what I'm saying, basically got bro back on his feet. She did that. Respect. You a strong woman, you doing stuff like that, like no disrespect, you it.
So what if it's a situation like that and you don't know if he gonna get it together or not? Like, although he did eventually hit the jackpot, his generator got booming.
That's what I was finna say. But patience, now that he didn't hit that the high point of his life, and he's doing the things that he's been working his ass off to get, you know what I'm saying, and all of a sudden now that you get mad because you feel like he didn't use you up, he wasn't giving you nothing, so you leave him aside. But when he goes and give that same energy that he was willing to give to you to somebody else, now it becomes a problem. No, it's not his fault. It's your fault. Because you was the one that was playing the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say sometimes you have to wait. You have to stay down no matter how hard it gets. That's for both sides.
Stay down.
The friend and the person that's chasing the dream. You have to be willing to stay down. You know what I'm saying? Because all it takes is one of anything. One time, 1 hour, 1 second, 1 day. It can change your whole life. You can go from being broke to rich, or you can go from rich to being broke. You see what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say with the movie, I feel what it was going, but I'm always hold it down for the men's side. You know what I'm saying? She was in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody tell you to go run that truck into that nigga house like that. Ain't nobody, you did that. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna hold the gun to you. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I can agree.
No,
I can agree.
No doubt. You know what I'm saying?
Because it was one of those, although the other circumstances happened that may have been misleading, besides that,